We're back with another WCW 1992 save, the Jim Ross era, which honestly didn't get off to a very good start last time. We sent everyone home not knowing that we really had nobody available due to other booking commitments, something we might look into changing soon. So tonight the WCW Jim Ross era tries again to restart and do it right this time. But first, we have a few other B shows to book. Anyways, you know, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Now, let's get to the video. And welcome back to the WCW 1992 save on Three Ropes Wrestling. Last time was not so good. Last time the Jim Ross era officially kicked off, but really, it was kind of a sputter. We're going to really try to kick it off this week when we actually have our wrestlers in the house, hopefully this time. But we're not going to send anybody home or anything for WCW on TBS, but we are going to send some people home for the B show. Now, tonight we're going to book WCW Power Hour. We're also going to book WCW Main Event. And I thought it was WCW on TBS. We're going to have to rename this because creatively it's called World Championship Wrestling. You gotta be kidding me. So we're going to book this as well. This will kind of be our first official storyline kind of angle kind of thing. We had really not a lot of people last time, and we'll take a look at the show history here. And we'll see that the main event did a 62. Main event B show, 62. World Championship Wrestling, 55, because we had nobody in the house. We did have Ricky Steamboat somehow carry Steve Armstrong to an 83. We also had Ricky Steamboat talk about the match with the Young Pistols. We are going to have a unification tag team match between the Young Pistols and the team of Dustin Rhodes and Ricky Steamboat, who are the tag team champions of the world. The United States tag team titles, I don't really find a need for two tag team titles, especially with the teams that we have. And the light heavyweight title is also something that might be on the chopping block. I just don't really like the weight limit kind of deal with the title. We either might make it another title or just get rid of it altogether. But going back to the tag teams real quick, these are our teams. And I mean, our tag team division needs a lot of work. Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton are getting older. And I mean, they're good, but you know, it doesn't seem like they might be a team that can carry the division. Ricky Morton and Tommy Rich, they are just B rated. Ricky Morton's great with Robert Gibson, and we might think about bringing in Robert Gibson. That would be good to pair him up with Ricky Morton, make him the Rock and Roll Express like they should be, and maybe have them in here because I know that they have like an 100 experience level and they know each other really well. So they would be an incredible team to add there. So maybe we'll look into bringing in Gibson for Morton to team with, but we'd have to make Gibson a heel at this moment because Morton is also a heel. Steamboat and Rhodes, they are a good tag team, but we're going to break out Dustin Rhodes at some point. So I don't really see these two feuding. I see these two just, going their separate ways once their title reign ends. But again, I don't know yet. We're just kind of booking as we go month by month, sort of. But these two are both incredible wrestlers. The Fabulous Freebirds in 1992 their acts starting to get a little dated, so we're going to need a new team to run with the tag team division. They're on their last legs here in WCW 92. The Steiner brothers are a great tag team, one that could carry the division very easily. So we're glad to have them. The WCW Patriots are just jobbers. The Young Pistols are the United States Tag Team Champions, and Wyndham and Rhodes also team together every now and then, but not really a team. So as you can see, there's not really a need for two titles. So we're going to unify them at the Clash of Champions, and we are going to see who ends up taking them. But that will be a good way to get rid of at least one title that I don't think that we really need. Now, before we get into everything, let's check the news. And Luke is out injured, a cracked sternum. He'll be out a few weeks, so we know that is a headline right now. But let's check in on the WWE, or WWF, should I say. Let's go down here. And here are our rivals, the WWF, in the last 2 weeks. We do remember that they extended their deals with everybody here, and Tanaka extended a deal. So nothing else going on except for primetime wrestling. We look at the results. Earthquake and Animal in a DQ match. They had a 70. Okay, we had a 60 something and a 55 or something like that when we didn't have anybody in the building. So I do like our chances here to compete with WWF. Of course, it'd be nice to get a couple of their talent once their contract expires, and I do have my eye on a little bit, a couple of different people, should I say, but Marty Jannetty extended his deal. They extended the deal with a bunch of jobbers. So that is the news with WWF. But now we are going to get to WCW Power Hour, and we are going to book it together. I think that's probably the easiest way. And then I'll book WCW Saturday night, or WCW on TBS, or whatever we're going to call that show. We're going to have to call that show something else. But I will book that show, our A show, off of the video, and then come back with it. That's kind of how we will work this. So give the night off. This is dangerous for us, but here's what I'm going to do. I am going to give the night off to all of our top talent, because we're not going to need any of them. So we will give the night off to Rick Rude, Ricky Steamboat, and we'll give the night off to Sting. We will also go down and go to stars. We won't need Dusty Rhodes. We won't need Lex Luger. And we will go down to, well, we'll keep the well-knowns, because I don't want to do the same thing last time. So we're going to save a little bit on travel here, because we won't need these guys. We're not going to use them. Are you sure you've done everything you wish? I am. Now, we will book tonight. We did the Southeast last time, and we are playing under the guise of Jim Ross is the new executive of WCW. They're trying to capture the world. Right now, we're not going to go to the world. We're going to keep it in the country. We were in the Southeast before. We're not going to go too far. We're just going to go to the Mid-South, and we are going to pick the best option. There's probably not going to be one correct, so it will be a generic venue. Now, the locker room incidents from Power Hour. Head men's trainer George South ran a pre-show drill, basics and safety with Elegante and Johnny B. Bad. Oh, and also Van Hammer. So those three, hopefully getting better with George South's help. George South is a jobber in WCW, but he is a good worker, and he has trained for the WWF before as well. Jimmy Jett helped create a fun atmosphere when he pulled a classic rib on Marcus Alexander Bagwell that had everyone laughing. So even Bagwell's getting ball busted by the referees in our locker room here. Jett has a people person and is happy, or is normal. And Bagwell, the party animal, was pleased probably with the joke. So we've got that. Harley Race came to you backstage with an angle idea. It's been automatically added to your stored creative ideas. So that's good because we have some plans for Harley Race. So hopefully we will listen in on that. And that is all for the locker room. I'm not gonna do team bonding. The reason is Lex Luger's an asshole. Okay, that's the reason why we're not going to do team bonding. Lex Luger's an asshole. He's going to meddle and get into every relationship, make every relationship worse. So we are not going to do anything yet. We are just going to ignore and go on, especially in a B show where we're just trying to get some people some work. It's not going to move us up or down on the popularity scale. It's literally just to get our guys some work. So we're just not going to worry about that. Now, we're going to book the show. And let's book, let's see here. We will see who we have available. Okay, we have no major stars and no stars. We have just well-known wrestlers. We can put Ron Simmons. He is a face, so we will put him in a match. And we are going to put him in the match with Larry Zbyszko, who has cooled momentum, and make it for 12. We're going to have Ron Simmons win this match. I really want to. We're going to help Larry by keeping him strong, but we're going to have Ron Simmons win this match. Competitive match, but it's going to help Ron Simmons win. I'm hoping Larry is not going to be angry. I guess he was. Yes, he was the. So we'll have Arn Anderson do that, and we'll be good. Okay, so Larry Zbyszko is willing to put Ron Simmons over. That's good news. So that'll be our main event tonight. Now we're just going to fill this up with guys that I kind of want to get to work. We will have... let's see, who do we have here? We'll have Dustin Rhodes. He'll work. And he's going to take on... You know what? We'll have him take on the Italian Stallion. Is he? No, the Italian Stallion's a face. We need just heels. We'll just have him take on Pat Rose. We'll have him do it in 8 minutes, and we'll just put Dustin over, obviously. We're going to have him do a domination match, which means that he's going to get over real well at the expense of Pat Rose, which we really don't care. We'll make it a clean win. Everything will be good in the hood, and Dustin Rhodes he has a tag title, but he's not obviously going to defend it here. That'll be good. Now, how I like to do things is I like to book the main event up here, and then everything else I'll just put into order as I go along. I just want to put some matches together first. We will need 65% matches. Okay. So now we'll do one more match. We'll do a tag team match here, and we will put the Steiner brothers over. So the Steiners are going to take on the WCW Patriots are both face as well. So what we'll do is we'll just have them face two heels that are unimportant. Two jobbers, basically, if we can find any. None that are heel. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if they're face or heel at this point, right? We'll have Bill Kazmaier. He's going to end up leaving. And then the Italian Stallion. Oops, I put him right where the Steiners were. The Italian Stallion, I will have debut the Jobber as well, because that was in our office that we needed to do that as well. So the Steiners are going to take on Bill Kazmaier and the Italian Stallion. We're going to have them again do that quickly. 10 minutes is good for a tag team match. We're going to have Rick Steiner win the match here. And we're going to have it a clean win. The Steiners are going to win. And just get over on these two guys. Again, Kazmaier is going to be leaving at the end of the month. His contract expires. And I really don't find a reason to keep him. I think he's actually on a written... Yeah, he is on a written contract. So... And then we got the Italian Stallion here, I think, for $30. So we can find some good workers on the indies that can put over our guys a lot better than WCW has, I think, right now going into the game. So we are going to book that. And now we've got a tag team match and two singles matches. We're going to have to do something with the angles. So we are just going to have the auto booker here. And we'll just make one of our well-known stars here. Paulie Dangerously is a perfect person to have on as an interview. And we're just going to have self-promos. These are all just self-promos to kind of put themselves over, get some more work in, get some microphone skills up a little bit. I'm just going to use them kind of in the B show anyway to balance out the matches that we want to have. So right now we have 41 minutes taken up. We are at 88, so we're going to do this again, and we're going to have a well-known person. Harley Race is another good person that can talk. Again, we have some things for Harley Race to go through, so that is why we want to get him out in front of the fans and, give him a presence. And we will do one more, and let's see if we can be lucky 3 times. The Great Muta is not going to be doing a promo. We're going to cut that. We'll try one more. We'll try 2 more times if it doesn't work out this time. Arn Anderson's okay. We'll do one more just to see if it's anybody else. Larry Zbyszko. Yeah, so we're going to cut the Larry one. Now we're at 67 and 65. That'll be good. And 54 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll just give Harley Race one more minute. And again, these are all just sell promos. This is a B-rated show. Now I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I see what I have here as far as matches. Of course, Simmons and Zbyszko is going to be the main event. I think we're going to bump the Steiners up to the second. And actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to bump the Paul E. Dangerously one up to second. And then we will get the Steiners right before that. Dustin Rhodes before that. I think Dustin Rhodes is going to lead off the show. Or at least we'll do this. We'll do Harley Race. And that will be what we're going to do. So we'll lead off the show with Harley Race. And then we'll go to Dustin Rhodes in a jobber squash match. Arn Anderson will do a sell promo. Then we're going to put the Steiners over. Paulie Dangerously will do a sell promo. And then we'll have our main event, which is Ron Simmons and Larry Zbyszko. Again, we're just trying to get Ron Simmons over. So let's see. We didn't do anything wrong. Everything is good. So let's have the show. All right, in the show, in an average 8-minute interview that took place backstage, Harley Race cut a promo, so he got a 66. It got the crowd hotter, which is what we were hoping for Harley Race to do. So that is good. Harley Race got a sell promo out, and he is out in front of the crowd, which is the most important part. Now, Dustin Rhodes defeated Pat Rose. Pat Rose had a 31. That's not bad. Dustin Rhodes a 59, which it was pretty good. They had great chemistry, which was awesome. So we're going to keep Pat Rose around just because, not because of this match, but I think that he is a good jobber for us to have. We'll get a couple other jobbers, but really, I mean, we have got a big, big roster. And the need for jobbers at this point, when people are needing work right now and needing matches, looking for matches, it just doesn't really seem like the right way to go. But we're still going to do this yet, but we're going to look into changing that a little bit. So they did it 48. That's not bad. Now, Arn Anderson cut a sell promo. The match deserved better color commentary. Ooh, boy. But the angle did, the angle, the interview got the crowd hotter. So we are headed up again, white hot, which is good. And a 78 is very good. So we like that news. All right, now we move to the Steiner brothers getting put over by Bill Kazmaier and the Italian Stallion. The Italian Stallion got a 41. Kazmaier was really the lame duck here with a 34. Not like the Stallion did much better, but the Stallion did, at least with word around the campfire that the only reason he's got a job is because he's best friends with George South, which might be true. He did okay. Rick and Scott, excellent chemistry together, of course, the tag team specialist, everything. They got a 60. The crowd got cooler a little bit, I guess, but not totally cool. So, and it's not the Steiner brothers' fault at all. All right, Paulie Dangerously cuts a promo. As predicted, a very good number. Paulie can talk, as we all know. So Dangerously gets a 70 rating. So that's not much more to say about that. And in our main event, it actually did worse than Dangerously's sell promo. Simmons defeated Larry Zbyszko. Simmons a 48, a Zbyszko a 50 in the skill department, or the in-ring performance department. So they just didn't click at all. And that's why we do these on the B show, because no matter what the rating is after I hit the next button and the finish show button, it doesn't matter. We understand that these two probably won't have good chemistry, right? So we can look beyond that and make sure that we don't do that again. And, at the end of the day, Simmons picks up a win over Larry Zbyszko. That's going to help him out quite a bit. All right, so an overall rating of 58. We had a 78 with Anderson and a 70 with Paul E. Dangerously. Those are the two people that really stood out here in the B show. The financial report, an overall profit of $20,508. So we're at just under $15 million, $14.9 million, and we haven't really made any investments yet. But I'm eyeing some, because we've got a big roster and a lot of roster members that are not working and are not getting better. So they're just sitting there literally wasting time. We're going to have to do something about that, whether it be a feeder development company or whether it be uh, uh, a performance center. Something is going to have to give here so that we can get our roster better. Because George South's a good worker and he's a good trainer, but we can't just rely on George South, to be honest. We have to actually do something here to improve our roster and make sure that the people that we don't have a lot of faces on our roster that are stars, and we're losing Lex Luger. That's not a face, but that's a star. We're going to be losing Lex Luger as well, so we're gonna have to do something better. But either way, let me pick this up in when this gets done, and I will be at the next show. Okay, now on show day, we're going to check our email because we haven't in a while, to be honest. The house show, $3,800 from the first, which was last week. I told you I haven't checked my email in a while. This game is replicating real life. The WCW main event from last week had a .5. Mr. Hughes feels like he needs some time to heal. Sonny Trout will have 30 days remaining on his contract. If we lose Sonny Trout, that's not going to be the end of the world, but I would like to retain him, so we're going to delete these as we do things. Let's see here. And yeah, as long as we're doing this right now, let's see if we can sign Sonny to a deal, not like that. Per show is good, and a handshake deal is good. And up, and no ironclad. There you go. $30 is fine for Sonny. And he's likely to accept it, so that's good. We can delete that. Mike Graham has got an opinion. Dustin Rhodes is going to be a star. He's worth pushing. Yes, he is. I agree with you. Thank you very much, Mike. Tommy Rich has gotten an offer from PNW, which is good. I'm good with that because Tommy Rich is going to be somebody that maybe we use a little bit on the mid card, but we want to make him better. I don't know if he can get better. And it's not because of his ability, it's because of his age. He's 35 years old, and he's not going to get in. That's just experience right there, right? That's just experience. But he's a little sore right now, but he's not exactly roughed up yet. So Tommy Rich is going to go on to PNW and hopefully get some work there. Last night, $6,300. Not last night, but the third. YTV is unhappy with our show last week. So are we. We did a 1.3, so 1 million people saw that terribleness. Channel 7, Canal, they are not happy. Tracy Smothers has gotten an offer from SSW, Southern States Wrestling, and we're happy for that as well. We're going to let Tracy Smothers work some shows as well. Now, they could work some shows for us, and they will. The house shows are always going to be on a higher priority than indies, but Tracy Smothers getting extra work is something that we're happy for. The WWF has now gotten major licensed music, so that is going to help them enter the Limp Bizkit era, I guess, early for WWE and the Motorhead era. But yeah, Jim Johnson not happy in '92. We'll take him if he was a character in here and it mattered. Like if I could hire music, he would be the music for sure. Last night, house show in New England, 614 people, the WCW in the Northeast, which not surprising. I mean, there's not a lot of WCW fans in the Northeast yet, but we're trying. Power Hour got a .04 rating, and that was from the night before that we did, so 35,000 people saw that. Tommy Rich has been offered by East Coast Wrestling, so we're going to let Jim Kettner do what Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich are going to be doing, and that is working in other companies and making sure that they get better just by experience. The National Wrestling League has offered Tom Zank a deal. ECWA also going after Ricky Morton as well as PWA. Gordon Soley, who we don't have a spot for right now, will be working with ECWA. Happy about that. And he's also gotten a deal with the International Wrestling car. Oh, nope, it's not. International World Class Wrestling. I thought that was the International Wrestling Cartel when I first saw that, but it is not. And then the house show just last night in, I don't know, Minnesota. $5,664 coming in to us, 708 fans. So we're going to delete all that. We're good, caught up with the email. Our money is 14.9. So hopefully after this, we might be able to get, well, I don't know, $70,000 on a B show is a lot, I think, for us. But we are going to see. Now, there are a couple wrestlers that we didn't get to have on the last B show. We're going to try to focus on them. We are going to also give Dusty and Lex the night off. We're going to do the same thing as we did last time. No reason for the major stars to fly in, and no reason for us to pay them. So that will be okay because we have more than enough people that can work tonight. We did the Mid-South last time, the Southeast before. We're just going to keep going and go over to the Midwest. There are no places in the Midwest to go. Sturgis, South Dakota is where we're going to be going tonight. Not for Road Wild, but for just a house show. Locker room instances, can't wait to see it. Doug Summers has turned up and might be able to use him tonight. Doug, maybe. 180 a show, absolutely not. We don't need you like that. However, you're good. He is pretty good. He's 43 years old though, so that's gonna hurt his potential of signing long term with us. But he is good. There isn't a spot for you. DJ Peterson has turned up and requested. Let's look at DJ. He is 32 years old. He's going to cost $80 a show. Very good. The selling is decent. Might be able to use him. Oh, he doesn't even want to work, though. Well, that's how it goes. Yeah, you can come on in. Come on in. And again, George South training, El Gante, Johnny B. Bad, and Van Hammer. Now, Gante, we have some plans for him, but he's got to learn to work because he's terrible. So those plans are going to be in a year or two if we can actually get him enough experience so that he can get better. But right now, he is abysmal is the only word to use. Tony Schiavone was brought before the wrestlers' court. Tony. Accused of making a mess backstage and not cleaning it up, annoying everyone. Harley Race found him guilty, sentenced him to clean it up and buy drinks for everybody. Schiavone, and he's currently angry. It's not because of that. It's because we got rid of, I think it was David Crockett. So he wasn't happy about that. But it had a small positive impact, so that's good. Lance Russell entertained the locker room by organizing a poker tournament. Lance Russell's probably someone we don't need to keep bringing in as well. I should look into that. Gordon Soley as well, but they're both brightening the mood backstage, so we're going to be happy about that. Maybe we get Gordon Soley on Main Event or something like that, but all right. Address the locker room. No, same reason. Lex Luger's an asshole. So we're going to keep going. And we are going to book this show. And let's see, what is a good main event here between everybody? Okay, so we've got well-known people. We could put Vader in a match if we can find somebody that he would team up with. The Great Muta would be a good match with him and Vader on a B show. That would be a good match. And you know what? Because we have plans for Vader and really not Muta yet, we're gonna make Vader, I should say, go over to Muta. We're gonna keep Muta strong though, and we're gonna make it an open match. It's a completely open match. Everything is ready to go. Pinfall finish will be good. And who do we have? Because I want like Arn to do that. Because that's going to be a good match, I think. I think we're going to score a pretty good rating there. I think we can do 2 more matches, and then we'll do a bunch of promos like we did last time. We'll do another singles match. Who didn't have a match last time? We'll get some unimportant people in there, just because I know it's not going to really hurt anybody. Okay, so we'll pair a recognizable with a unimportant person. Let's put Brian Pillman in a match. Actually, you know what? Let's put Brian Pillman in a match. Yeah, we don't want to put him in a match with Cactus Jack, but we will put him in a match with Pat Rose, and Pat Rose will put over Brian Pillman. I don't know why. It's just this video, really, but I don't really have like a love for Pat Rose or anything. It's just that he happens to be there, and he had a good match last time, so why not? Let's see if you can do it again. Then we'll do one more, and maybe we will have Cactus Jack win a match here. Get him off to a hot start. Hopefully we can find a face that will be able to lose to him. Big Josh might be somebody that we could sacrifice here. Van Hammer could be somebody that we could definitely sacrifice. Let's do a Van Hammer. Let's make it sort of a match. Cactus Jack's going to win, though. And it's going to be a very easy one for him to win. Arn Anderson's going to do the honors again. All right, Anderson says no on the stamina, so let's go and take Anderson's advice. We'll move it down to 10 and see. There you go. And then we have one more, and it is going to be a tag team match. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the Young Pistols over right now. They're going to need a little bit of help before going in to Clash. 2 weeks away, by the way, against Dustin Rhodes and Ricky Steamboat. So we're going to have the Young Pistols win over the WCW Patriots. And it's just going to put Smothers and Armstrong over pretty big. And we're just going to sacrifice Chip and Todd Champion every single time. They're going to be our jobbers here. So why not? Why not? We'll have them defend the United States tag team titles so that it will look good for TV. And I almost messed up. Thank goodness they remind me here. Tracy Smothers is going to dominate as well. And now the Young Pistols are going to get off to a good start. The tag team title will mostly be a main event match, but when you have Vader and Muta, it kind of trumps that. So the Pistols and the Patriots are going to be after that. And that is 3 or 4. That's 4 matches right there. Now we're going to have to book a lot. And we're going to probably have to make this shorter. We'll knock that down to 10, which I know. We'll knock that down to 9. We'll knock this to 9. And we'll knock this down. Well, no, we'll keep that there to 10. Okay, so we booked 46 minutes. So we're going to go to the auto booker. And this is just, again, for B shows. And we are going to have Larry Zbyszko cut a promo. Fine. Again, it doesn't really matter because our scores aren't going to be. Lance Russell, though, is not going to be cutting a promo. Teddy Long can cut a promo talking about how he doesn't have any representation yet. And how he's not representing anybody yet, should I say. So he has something to gripe about as well. And one more. Lance Russell really wants to talk. He really wants to talk. The Diamond Dallas Page will cut a promo as well. So now I told you we have these two set up. I think Brian Pillman and Pat Rose seem like a good opening match. Get excited. Then they can go to Diamond Dallas Page. So we don't have so many interviews in the middle. We can put Cactus Jack in the middle and then follow up with these two. I think that's a decent show. Just to make sure we have everything good. We do. We will get on to WCW Main Event. All right, so Brian Pillman is going to open up the match with Pat Rose. Brian Pillman at a 55, Pat Rose a 30. 44 is the segment, and it's simmering, so the crowd at the end of it. So we're going to be happy with that. That's okay. Diamond Dallas Page in an interview, average 5-minute interview. Clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off the script. That's what we're gonna do with most of our talent is give them, just the freedom to talk and the freedom to get their character over. The commentary quality lifted the segment 64. That is good. DDP with a good one there. Cactus Jack and Van Hammer. Cactus Jack defeated Van Hammer 55-38. Van Hammer and Cactus Jack have great chemistry. That's good to remember. So Van Hammer might, in the future, put Cactus Jack over again. I don't ever see that being the other way around unless there's a screw job or something. But now Larry Zbyszko cuts a promo. Look at that, 76. I can't believe that. Larry Zbyszko clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script. See, they all like that, so we're going to keep that going. Teddy Long, very poor when trying to improvise, so we'll remember that. And hopefully when Teddy Long gets on the microphone, we're going to give him a scripted promo and things like that so that he won't be so lost. I think he can do better than a 49. Apparently he can. So we will make that better. Now the Young Pistols are going to beat the Young Patriots. They're going to defend the WCW United States title. That's the fourth title reign or fourth title defense for Tracy Smothers and Steve Armstrong. Steve got a 40, Armstrong a 50, and then the two got a 33 and 34 respectively. So a 42 segment rating. Again, it doesn't matter because we're just trying to see chemistry and trying to get people work. We put the Young Pistols over, so that will be good for their momentum. And in the main event, which didn't do as well as I thought this would be in the 70s somewhere for some reason. Big Van Vader defeated the Great Muta in 10 minutes. Maybe it's because it was so short, but I can't really go much longer with Vader either because he's going to, his stamina is going to be hurt. 62 and 64 respectively. That's going to be a good match. Vader Bomb finishes off the Great Muta, who will be leaving soon. I believe he is only a couple more months away from leaving on the deal that we have with New Japan. So a 60 overall. We had a 76 for Larry Zbyszko. He's the one who actually stood out in this one. So very surprised at that. I thought that would be one of the promos that struggled. It did not. The financial report, we actually lost $2,000, which is pretty remarkable. Okay, we lost $2,000. Usually we'll gain like $20,000 or something like that, but we don't usually lose $2,000. But we were in a part of the country we're not very popular in as well at the same time. So we're going to take our lumps and make sure that we get around the country. So we'll just, honestly, that's a win. $2,000 just to be seen in that area. Exposure is everything in this game. We got a little bit of exposure up in the Midwest, so we're good there. Now we see the news here. Hercules Hernandez changes his style. All right, so he is going to be more of a powerhouse approach. What was he before? He was a brawler before. Okay. Okay, so tomorrow night we have World Championship Wrestling, so we will go to that. And this is going to have to be a better show. Ted Turner's in the house tonight, and it's an important one for Jim Ross and the Jim Ross era. A lot of people are questioning him, so we're going to have to see, but WCW is going to have to be better this time. This is the A show that we're doing. This is the one that will increase or decrease popularity if we do not do well. So we're going to have to make sure that we have all hands on deck, and because of that, I'm going to book this off and then off the video, and then I will come back on and show you what I did, tell you why I did it. That's kind of how we're going to do things. So I will be back with WCW World Championship Wrestling. Hey, that's the TV show, at least for now. All right, now before we get to the show, I thought we were going to have something to do. We do. Sonny Trout is going to want to sign, so we got that done. But that is not why I came back real quick. What I'm doing now is the pre-show. We're not going to give anybody the night off. No one. You're all coming. Last time it was terrible. Okay, now we're gonna do it in the southeast. We're going to make sure that we're going to make sure that we can. We're going to do it in the Jacksonville Coliseum. We're going to make sure that we can have a good show, or at least put our best show or foot forward. The booking team meeting is going to be Jim Ross, Eric Bischoff, Paul Heyman, and Jody Hamilton. The final score is 77. Now, between four people, a 77 is awful. So we're going to have to change this up a little bit. Even if there's one or two people that would have gained more, just Eric Bischoff would have gained more. So no, he wouldn't have. I lied to you. Well, actually, no, he would have because there's not bonuses attached to it. So I think he probably would have. We are going to spend it on a creative finish. Bit of a gamble. I don't like gambles. We're not going to do it. We're just going to keep it away. And we will keep the 27 in the bank. We're just trying, every time we do that, we're going to try to use them for the pay-per-views. That's the goal. So we're going to have to change our booking team. That's something we have to work on. Locker room instances. Rocky King has turned up and asked if you might be able to use him. Sorry, no, maybe next time. Tommy Lane wants to hang out. Do you have any problems with anybody in our locker room? No, he does not. So, okay. Sure, come on in. Ricky Steamboat came to you backstage and said he thinks Dustin Rhodes has a bright future. He'd be willing to put him over in order to help him take him to the next level. Interesting. George South ran pre-show drills with Gante, Bad, and Hammer. And that is it for the locker room. Address the locker room. Should we? No. All together now. Lex Luger, an asshole. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to do nothing. Yes, because Lex Luger's terrible. Terrible person. Okay, and now I am finally going to get to booking WCW. I'll be right back with the show. Okay, and we are back. World Championship Wrestling being held in Jacksonville Coliseum, Jacksonville, Florida. Just a few hours, hours? Maybe not. Maybe even an hour and some change south of Atlanta. Just going by memory. Maybe it's a couple hours. Either way, that is not the point. WCW on TBS, and our last show was terrible. We had went over that. Jim Ross made his first announcement. The Freebirds went over the Patriots. Bagwell over Taylor. Eaton over the Z-Man. Simmons over Parker. Ricky Steamboat talked about the Clash of Champions. Again, we're going to have a tag team unification match between the Young Pistols and Ricky Steamboat and Dustin Rhodes. And Ricky Steamboat ended up beating Steve Armstrong. And again, I can't say it's a match of the year, but it is one of the finest from Steamboat. That's how good Steamboat is. I mean, not that Steve Armstrong's a terrible worker. I'm not saying that. But an 83 is a little above his brow, I think. Okay, now, let's get to it. All right, World Championship Wrestling being held, again, in the Jacksonville Coliseum. 9,070 people paid to be here. And Lex Luger is going to open the show. He's going to come down and cut a promo. He says that he was recently asked if Sting was his toughest opponent. Luger says, allow me to answer that here to everybody. Sting will be a tough competitor, one of the toughest WCW history. Luger goes on to say that Sting did learn a lot from him. And calls Sting his little brother. And he's fans boo Luger, who's obviously mockingly complimenting Sting by putting himself over at Sting's expense. But the commentators just wonder after the segment what Sting has to say about all this, being called little brother. And basically Lex Luger talking down to Sting for sure, but also kind of taking a little credit for his name as well. Luger was superb, working without a script. He had a crowd in the palm of his hand the entire time. That's great for us. The angle got the crowd hotter and got the show off to a strong start. So it's a hot and rising crowd after this promo. And the promo is going to be rated 74. That's good enough for us for the opening promo. Moving on. In a decent match, Brian Pillman defeated the Diamond Stud. Look, Brian Pillman gets a big victory here tonight to lead off his WCW, new WCW career, I guess, the Jim Ross era, shall I say. Pillman's being kept strong at the moment. Stud's going to have his time to get over, but right now isn't it? And that's not going to be the gimmick, to be honest. He won't stay mid card very long, but you know, we're using him right now to help get guys over. In this case tonight, it's Brian Pillman. The crowd leaves the crowd he at the end is hot. So a 68 and a 52 respectively. Brian Pillman comes out on top, and again, leaving him hot, at least leaving him strong, not hot, but leaving him strong, so that we can do something with him here in the near future. All right, now Ricky Steamboat and Dustin Rhodes defeated the fabulous Freebirds, and Steamboat and Rhodes are our current WCW Tag Team Champions. They need to go into the Clash of Champions strong, so they're going to get a win over the Freebirds here. And you know, as I said before, you know, the Freebirds stable is kind of growing, or I don't know, brand, I guess, is kind of growing a little stale. In 92. I don't know what I'm going to do with Jimmy Garvin and Michael P.S. Hayes, but maybe we can reinvent them a little bit, maybe tweak their gimmick a little bit, or completely shelf it all together. I don't know. But right now, our tag team division isn't one where we can just kind of get rid of names like the Fabulous Freebirds. They are excellent still. It's just their gimmick in 92, going into, you know, the mid-90s, not really going to fly all that well. I don't think. Kind of just too Southern wrestling. Segment rating of 69, a crowd rating of 58. White hot at the end. Thank you, Ricky Steamboat, again for your accomplishments. And 88 there in that one. All right, now in an average 7-minute interview, the Z-Man cut a self promo, basically, that was interrupted by Steve Austin. So Z-Man says he has a big match in a couple weeks for the WCW television title, currently held by stunning Steve Austin. He talks about all the work he's done to earn this match, and then just then Austin cuts him off, says Z-Man's the next one up. I mean, that's fine, but he'll prove what everyone already knows. Z-Man isn't anywhere near Austin's level. And then Austin walks off the set there, and leaves Z-Man just shaking his head. Z-Man, in a couple weeks at Clash of Champions, going to get a big opportunity to take the WCW Television Championship off of stunning Steve Austin. The crowd leaves very hot. Segment rating of 58. Austin looked good. Austin and Paulie Dangerously as his manager. Good pairing there, of course. The Z-Man struggled going off script, so we might have to remember that. Might have to give him a script and not have him do an improvised segment anymore. Steve Austin improvised well through the segment on the contrary there. The commentary quality lifted, and the color commentary gave the segment a boost. So we're good there. That's going to be going on in Clash of the Champions, so that will be good. Now, Sting cuts a promo responding to Lex Luger. Sting laughs off Luger's comments about calling him little brother. He says that he's not really thinking... or he is thinking about this, I should say, for a while. Since Luger got the title, he's kind of changed in the back, kind of being a little bit more arrogant, things like that. Nobody in the back really likes him. And Sting's had enough. He challenges Luger and he says, I want the title, or I want you, or I want to be separated here. I want to be gone from the locker room if you're going to be still in it. So what he's going to do is propose a title match, WCW Heavyweight Championship, Sting, the challenger, versus Lex Luger, the champion, and the loser will leave WCW. So that's a huge one. Sting says he can't share a locker room with Lex Luger anymore. Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone both jaws hit the floor. All the fans are shocked. They're a little worried now because Sting might be leaving WCW immediately. Either way, Lex Luger or Sting leaving the company is big news altogether. Segment rating of 82. Sting worked the crowd well, using the freedom to improvise to his advantage, so that's good. And the Luger-Sting storyline has advanced and has gained some heat. Moving on, Mr. Hughes and Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons, we're keeping Simmons strong here with another match and another win over a recognizable opponent in Mr. Hughes. And we're really just going to have Mr. Hughes kind of go into a bodyguard, security guard type gimmick for a stable down the road here soon. Not really going to, we don't really see a title chance for him. I know that not every wrestler needs to have a chance at winning the title. There are some people that just don't need it. But Mr. Hughes, I think, does better and he will be very good at what I think we need him to do. He's an average wrestler right now, and we can do better with him. But Mr. Hughes did a 46, Simmons a 67. The commentary did well, and Harley Race, of course, doing good on the outside of the ring. A segment rating of 66 is okay. It's going to leave the crowd very hot, which is exactly what we needed from here. And another win for Ron Simmons, which is really what we were looking for here. All right, now Cactus Jack's going to defeat the Junkyard Dog. Cactus Jack gets the victory tonight over the Junkyard Dog. This match just sort of sets the tone for the new Jim Ross era. WCW, young WCW, Cactus Jack against the old guard in the Junkyard Dog. So the Junkyard Dog, doesn't really have a lot of potential. He has no really upside because he's already had that career. Cactus Jack, on the other hand, very different. He has a lot of upside. We know he's going to become much more famous than Cactus Jack, but we are going to book him strong. After the match, Cactus Jack's going to attack the Junkyard Dog, and the Junkyard Dog's not going to get up. This match is kind of being framed as old WCW versus new WCW. New WCW comes in and kicks out the old WCW guard. We're moving on to a new era kind of thing. We're saying that without saying that in the mid card, just so we're kind of planting the seeds with fans and saying, look, JYD is not relevant anymore. It's this guy here, Cactus Jack, who is going to be a much bigger name, and here we'll show you. 52 segment rating, very good. Crowd, very hot. We're going to be happy with it. All right, Rick Rude and Barry Windham, a 5-minute interview. We saw Rude cut a promo. Rude basically says in a generic promo that Barry Windham's just not in his league, either with wrestling or with women, and he's about to show him why and show him how to wrestle. So it's interesting. It's a generic one from Rick Rude, but it's going to cut Barry Windham a little bit. A segment rating of 81. Rick Rude clearly enjoying the freedom of going off script. All right, and about that, great heat and good wrestling. Rick Rude defeated Barry Windham in 16 minutes and 11 seconds with a rude awakening. The match was designed to tell a specific story. We needed to do that. We need to do that in each one of the TV shows, but that is going to be good for us. Rick Rude turns in a 78, which is not surprising. Barry Windham is 61. Windham is going to go down here. Crowd's going to leave very hot. And then afterwards, the show cuts to Lex Luger in the back, and Luger is going to agree to the stipulation between him and Sting. Says that Sting, he can't stand him anyway, so we're going to have a match for the world title between the heavyweight champion Lex Luger and the challenger Sting, and the loser, shall I say, at Clash of the Champions, is going to leave WCW. Now, the segment leaves the crowd very hot. Luger did well, a segment rating of 65, and that will close out the show in front of 9,070 people in Jacksonville. Now, as you see, we have the show lost us popularity in 4 regions, but has increased our popularity in 35 regions. I'm not really worried about the losing of 4 regions. I think we just have to get a little bit momentum for these guys and get our crowd understanding what they're watching, and I think that we'll be fine there. We do need to look into limited number of viewers in the US region, in Canada, British, all this stuff. If we want to rule the world, we don't need to have these errors right here, or these notes. The general feeling is WCW doesn't have enough storylines. We are going to solve that pretty quickly. We got Sting and Windham going. We got Barry Windham and Rick Rude going, and we got Steve Austin and the Z-Man going. So we got 3 of them going right now. We will continue to improve that over the week on week, but yeah, the Clash of the Champions is already set up to be 3 matches, really. Sting versus Lex Luger for the title, like we were talking about. Stunning Steve Austin is going to defend against the Z-Man, Tom Zank, for the WCW television title. And we have a WCW Tag Team Unification match between Dustin Rhodes and Ricky Steamboat and the Young Pistols. Now, we are going to finish the show, and we are going to go to the financial report, which is always scary. We are going to gain a lot of money this time, though. Ticket sales were $163,000. The broadcast revenue, $93,000. Merchandise, we sold pretty well there. And overall profits, $221,000, which will put us up above $15 million for the first time. So that is very good. It will come down because we've got some investing to do very soon, but that is a very good report card. Yeah, we did lose popularity in 4 regions. That is not good at all. I will not make light of that, but for $221,000, I'll shut up about it tonight at least and worry about it tomorrow. Now, the popularity recap, as you see, the 4 regions are the Mid-Atlantic, the Mid-South, the Midwest, and the Southeast. I really think that our average show is going to be about the 65 range. So I do see these coming down and every one of these other ones coming up, especially the Southwest will start adding to that and being yellow because of momentum. But I do like all of the other yellows. Very good there. And we'll make sure that we get some more coverage like they were talking about in Canada. We don't have any coverage in the Maritimes or Quebec. We don't have any in parts of England, all over the place, right? And we have no representation in India. And nobody's really big in India right now. And that is a market that is huge. And we might be able to exploit early. I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but that is at least something to think about. All right, now the post show has been completed, and that was WCW on TBS. Guys, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the videos. 3 Ropes Wrestling coming out every Sunday. This one, WCW, shows up periodically. I do these from time to time, so I do like doing them as well. But thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it, everybody, and I will talk to you in the next one.